From One of One Production Studios, broadcasting from NYC, you are listening to Unexpected Success with your host, Joy.
Because your parents are still together, right? So how much of an example did your dad set, and what was going on with your family when you became Lenny the Barber? Because I'm sure you brought Lenny the Barber to Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'm sure that's who you became, right?
Yeah,
all
for
the
sure.
way.
Well, we were a pretty tight family. Traditional family. Like you said, Thanksgiving. Everybody either we were at someone else's house, someone else's house for Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Right.
There's always a christening going on. There's
Right.
always a birthday event going on. We love to be together. We love to engage. We love to invite people over for dinners or whatever.
Right. Because you guys had the house.
Yeah, so we had a house, and so it was like, and then so with my parents, they also helped us to purchase a house. So we lived in an apartment for a while, and then they were like, "Well, come live with us and save up your money, and then so you can go buy a house."
Yeah.
So shout out to my parents for
Shout
giving me
out to
that
parents.
opportunity. But I did see love with my parents. Also saw my father's nuts, but it's a whole nother thing. But I did see love. I did see a man. My father was more of a provider. I can't say that he was a nurturer, so to speak.
Okay. Right.
My mother was more the nurturer, which I believe the opposite. I feel like I nurture my kids.
Right.
So I didn't really pay attention to them as far as like the, what a family should look like. I didn't pay attention to my parents like, oh, well, Dad, Lenny, you got to do this. And I didn't have those
Right.
conversations with my father.
Right.
That Lenny, what you doing, bro? I see
Right.
you out here in these streets, bro.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
And that was probably because I was such a provider, right? I was bringing home bread.
You were following that example.
I was following an example of, but I wasn't being a husband, and
Right.
I wasn't nurturing my wife, and that's pretty much why we ended up.
So it's interesting because you
separating.
said that you're not really the guy that approaches a woman to ask her if she wants a drink. I guess all the action that you were getting in your early 20s, it was all coming towards you. Right. So it's
Besides,
kind of like,
and even if they don't come in towards me, if I had a friend, I have plenty of friends, right? So I
Right.
meet women through other friends.
Right.
You know what I
You
mean? I'm
play
always in
shy
a-
little brother or
Yeah.
shy friend.
But I am shy to a certain extent until you get to know me, right?
Right. Exactly.
You wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known.
No.
that this was, you thought
I
was,
mean,
I when it comes to that, I'm pretty. I'm standoffish. I don't really approach
right.
women like that.
So you and Gail, you separated, you got divorced, and it was amicable. Like you
Yes,
guys.
we did. It was all of my friends say they have no idea how my divorce was so amicable. Like down
No,
to my
and I
attorney.
think that honestly, that's an episode. I know people, actually a good friend of mine who has been getting divorced for 3 years.
See, I don't know
And it
nothing
has
about that.
been terrible.
And so I feel like, and I'm, yes, this can go on for a long time, but I could tell you what the key was to our being successful parents, and that was putting the kids first. Like we didn't see it any other way. Like we
Right.
just treated our kids were put first, and then everything else
Kind of fell into place.
kind of fell in place, right? So it was like, I still stayed with my kids even though we weren't together. I still took my kids to school, even though I lived 20 minutes away. At 7:30 in the morning, I was at the house,
Right.
getting my kids ready for school, taking them around the corner, mind you, like literally 2 minutes around the corner. But that was my responsibility.
But it was that
was
important.
to take my
Right.
kids to school, and I wanted my child to see me every day, taking her to school. And,
Yeah.
and that's where it started. Like everything else fell in place. So I don't really get the guy. I mean, look, I know that there are ridiculous cheating stories. She cheated on me, or he cheated on me, or I found him in the bed with the other woman, or
Right.
all that shit, right? But like at the end of the day, the
It's
kids
not
didn't
the
ask to be
kid's
here.
fault.
It's not the
Right,
kid's fault. They didn't ask to be
right.
here. So if we could you can hate me. You want to hate me? I don't think you should hate me, because if you show hate towards me in front of my child, then they're going to carry that's how they're going to want to treat me. So
Right.
for those men who curse out their kid's mother or who treat their kid's mother a certain way, then the child is going to feel, the son is going to feel like he can treat his mother that way, or worse, treat his girlfriend that way.
No, of course.
And my son to this day, if he's walking down the street with you, he just met you today, and you guys are walking down the street together, he's going to walk on the side of the street and let you walk on the inside.
Because you've taught him that.
Because that's what I taught him. And I didn't even teach him.
And he saw it.
He saw it more than anything. I didn't even say, this is what you got to do.
Right.
But he saw it. He's going to go run and open the door for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where fathers and mothers don't realize that you need both sides.
And your kids are always watching.
And they're always watching.
Right.
I have so many always watching stories.
Right.
Like, so many. I didn't even, down to me cutting hair. Years later, I ended up working for Mona Scott, producing Love and Hip Hop. And
wow, all right. We're getting into all the different careers.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But this is just one. This is just
right.
one. Sorry. So one of I was out. We were at Black Ink actually shooting a scene, and I'm standing outside, and this young man walks up to me that I knew. I used to cut his hair back, and I think I used to cut his hair, and someone else used to cut. He's kind of a barbershop nonetheless. And he was like, he's like, "What's up, Lenny? He was so happy to see me. Was happy to see him because I haven't seen him in maybe 10 years." And he was like, "Yo, I'm a barber now." I'm like, "Oh, word, that's what's up." He's like, "You don't know this, man, but I'm a barber because of you."
Oh, man.
I was like, "What? What do you mean you're a barber because of me?" He's like, "Bro, I used to watch you, man. Like, I watched how you cut hair. I watched how you engaged with your clients. I watched how, you were a family man. I watched how much money you were making. I watched how you were popping. I watched how I used to just watch you." And I was like, "That's what I want to do. I want to be a barber. I want to be like Lenny the Barber." And he's like, "Because of you, I now have a wife. I have 2 kids, and I am able to provide for them. And it's all because of you." And I wanted to bust out crying, of course, right there.
I know. It's
but
it's just
I was so proud and I felt so good. But really, what that really, 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 really told me, it's like, you never know who's fucking watching, fam.
You never know who's
like,
watching.
you don't know who's watching.
Right.
So yes, the guy, and there's another thing I would say, like all of the hustlers that I knew as a barber, I was the guy telling them, "Yo, you don't have to do this. You know that, right? You know you can go sell T-shirts and make the same kind of money, right? You know you can go sell. You keep them books.
You can sell anything.
You're selling anything. You can sell anything.
Yeah,
I got literally killers that speak up, that respect me,
right?
Because like I would never condone hustling, like selling drugs. Like I would never. I'm not the guy that's like, "Oh, that's like they pay me well, right? I take the bread." But like, while you're in my chair, I'm like, "Yo, so what's up? You opening that business yet? Like you whatever."
Was this crazy? Like, do you understand? Like, I mean, you understand, but just the transferable skills and being able to do what they're doing in terms of building huge businesses off of like something illegal. That same skill set can be applied. They could be the CEO of a major corporation. I mean, we meet people all the time, I'm sure, that don't have a quarter of the skill set.
Indeed.
And they're sitting in seats.
Indeed.
I'm just like, dude, you're ever enterprising.
No doubt. And shout out to the hustlers that actually did make the transition.
Right. No, and we know a few that we won't say.
I'm not going to mention, but I know a couple of y'all that
I know a few of you guys
did the transition.
Too. No, right.
And I commend you guys
it's
because
not easy.
It's not easy. And sometimes you got to kind of like, you used to, because at that when you're hustling, like the money is cash, right? So that's kind of like how I was when I was cutting hair. I had cash, making $3,000 a week.
Right.
You feel me? So I was able to buy.
But like Lil Wayne, like what money?
Yeah.
Because you never know who's listening.
You never know who's listening. It's all good.
It's all good. I know.
But yeah, so for those who are able to make that transition and take the back seat to purchasing whatever the hell you want and anytime you want, and like letting the legal business grow so that you can have whatever you want. I got one of my boys, man, Shaheed, man, and God, I love him to death. As big as you could possibly get. Like he was big as you possibly get. He got locked up when he was locked up for a good period of time. Found Allah and became Muslim. But he also picked up a skill set and he became a welder. And Shaheed making more money than
let me tell you
a whole lot of
the welding.
Out here.
So I did Dale Carnegie because I've historically had an issue with public speaking, and so it was like me and like 10 other people, and there was this guy there, and I forgot his name. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll tag him just because I was so impressed with him. But he's putting together a welding school
Wow.
Because he's like, so many people don't understand how much money there is in welding.
Yeah, he's getting that money.
He's getting it. He's like, yo, understand, my phone rings every day with a new job.
Because people don't realize that welding is everywhere. Like
mean,
everything you see that's steel, that's
right.
a banister going up the stairs. You know, I don't know. Is everything that pool around surrounding a pool? There's banisters
Right.
surrounding. What else is there? Everything. There's
So
welding.
no,
in everything.
he literally
All
blew my
construction
mind.
sites have welders.
Right.
Like yeah. So
So he was just talking about how many jobs, like there are not enough welders in
Mm-hmm.
New York City and New Jersey to take all the jobs that they have. And you have all these kids, people in general, who don't have jobs.
Yep.
And he's like, yo, you don't understand. Like, I'm getting it. I'm getting
Yeah.
it so much that I'm starting a school for welding.
That's awesome.
Right?
Shout out to him.
So shout out to him. I'm going to find you and I'm going to tag your name and
Yes.
yeah, we're going to go. But he used to be a barber.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's
what's
crazy.
up. That's what's up.
In Harlem. I have to figure all this out. Okay, this is like I don't believe in coincidences, so I'm going to figure this out. But anyway, so we digress. But Shaheed figured it out.
He figured it out.
Right.
And he's doing very well for himself. And he's married. He has kids. He's providing for his children.
I love that.
He has a fly ass house. He
Right.
drives whatever car he wants. And I'm talking about a guy that he had every car, every chain, everything that you possibly could
Yeah.
name. And he came home and that shit meant nothing to him. He was like, oh, I'll get this another way. I'm going to get it over here.
Yeah.
And he did. And he is. And
I
he's
love
happy.
it. And I love that. Right. And the thing about it is that, I mean, I think that can be applied to almost anyone who is doing a 9-to-5 right now who hates their job. You think you have to keep doing it, but
Nah,
you
you
can
don't.
start you can do the hobby on the side and then make the hobby grow
Yeah.
and then jump and be happy.
No question. Because
Because
definitely
we don't
cutting
get
hair
any
was a hobby.
do-overs, Lenny. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way, like, you know, I'm in my mid-40s, well, basically, and, you know, you're 50, and you should be proud of what you've accomplished. It shouldn't be like,
you.
you know,
Yep.
but there's no do-overs.
Indeed.
You get one
Indeed.
chance. We're playing Pac-Man. When you die, that's it.
Right,
Like,
right. That's real. That's real.
And I just think you have to.
Well,
jump
all
if
my
you wanna
the funny
jump.
thing is both me cutting hair was a hobby, turned into a
Right.
business,
Right.
and throwing parties was a hobby. And next thing I didn't know that I would be producing, you know, concerts.
Yeah. So
at an
can we
arena.
get into that? So I know. I mean, I've kind of kept you a long time.
Oh,
We've
it's all
gone-
good. It's all good.
we've
So
gone a
basically, I
little
started
longer, yeah.
cutting. While I was cutting hair, I started throwing these parties, and they just kept growing. The guy that I was doing a party with in Harlem, at the Brownstone, my last party I did with him, he was like, "Sir, you've outgrown your space. You have to go somewhere else. Too many people. You're making my block hot.
Right.
I'm not supposed to be doing these things here, and you bring in 1,000 people to a Brownstone. You can't do this anymore." So I ended up doing nightclubs. I forgot the first nightclub I did, but fast forward maybe about a year later, I got a call from this promoter. His name was what the hell's his name? I can't remember his name, but Roland was one of the guys, and he was like, "Yo, we got this club called Cheetah." So remember Cheetah back?
Oh
in the day.
my God! I remember Cheetah.
So Roland and Napoleon. So Napoleon called me. He was like, "Yo, man, I want you to be part of this party." So I'm like, "But when is it?" He's like, "During the week. It's on a Wednesday." So I'm like,
Okay.
"A Wednesday?" I was like, "I'm not doing a party Wednesday. I'm used to doing like, you know, dress up parties on a Saturday. Like that was my thing. Like we
Right.
did one-offs, right?" And shout out to Butch. Butch is the person. He used to have he used to have a promotional company called what the hell's name? Butch and Dennis. Those are the guys who actually taught me how to produce parties. But nonetheless, so
Shout out to Butch and Dennis,
Shout out
though.
to Butch and Dennis. Napoleon was like, "Yo, come let's do this party with me on a Wednesday."
Right.
So I'm like, that shit don't make no sense. Like, who the fuck is coming out on a Wednesday? I'm like, what are you
Club
talking about, right? So I called my boy Wonderful. Shout out to Wonderful because
Shout out to Wonderful. These names are just priceless, by the way.
So I called Wonderful. I'm like, "Yo, One, like, this dude's asking me to do a party at Cheetah on Wednesday, man." He was like, "You mean down the block from Justin's?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Nigga, you better go do that shit, man. Are you crazy?"
Because it was nothing but Justin's was it.
Was popping. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, so I kept telling these guys no so many times that I ended up with 60% of the party, 65% of the party, or something like that. Whatever.
Wow.
By the time I said yes, So first it was like we split it evenly. Then it was like, yo, Lenny, we need you. So I got it to like 65%.
They kept on going, right. Good negotiating skills,
I didn't
Lenny.
even know I was negotiating.
I know.
But, so we kicked off Cheetah. Cheetah on Wednesday night, right? And that, so just so everybody can understand what Cheetah meant to the culture, Jay-Z used to come to Cheetah all the time.
Right.
So back in that song where he's like, Club Cheetah, a Club Amnesia.
Yeah.
1,000% you were talking about my party.
Now, Cheetah, but the Cheetah happened before System? Remember System?
After System.
After System.
It was after System.
Okay. Because Jay used to always be at System. And then he went,
It was around that same era, but like after
time.
System.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think System turned into something else after a while.
Yeah, it did.
But and Ty Boogie, who's now on Power 105, that's where he got to start. So I started Ty Boogie off.
No, Cheetah was, legendary. We used to,
nuts.
I was too young to get in, but I had fake IDs, and
it was
we used to drive from Hampton, literally change in the on 20 whatever street that was, 21st Street or whatever it was. I would change my clothes in the car after driving from Virginia to go, right? Because then my parents didn't know I was home yet.
Right.
And I wasn't gonna have to worry about why you coming home so late. I'm like, I come home in the morning.
Right.
So Cheetah was legendary.
That shit was nuts.
It was crazy.
I had a really, really good run with Cheetah until somebody, did some bullshit and shot somebody inside.
Yeah.
But that was I was making shit $7,000 a week.
That's crazy.
Off of Cheetah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. They would pay the guys. They would end up paying the security outside. Actually, shout out to AJ.
Right. AJ, you should let my girl Dion in back in '96, yo.
Literally, I was told years later that they purchased homes off my party.
Wow.
Because they made so much, but they were charging the guys outside $100 to get on the line, and then they would come inside and pay me.
That's crazy.
It was nuts. It was nuts. So I started doing Cheetah, and at Cheetah we would have all the celebrities would come through. I remember Nelly coming through. This guy named Ty Dash.
I think everybody was there. Stevie, Jay, Faith, everybody used to be a Cheetah. Yeah, no, it was.
I remember one time Nelly. This is why I felt like I knew I made it. Nelly came through with Ty Dash. Brought Nelly through, and Nelly. That's when he had that. He went #1, so he had that album. He had all those hits.
Bye, baby.
Yeah,
Up
all those. Nelly
Yeah.
sang every song on his album.
Oh, he did a concert.
Oh, it was nuts. And I think Ty Boogie.
Bananas.
I believe Ty Boogie still has that.
The footage.
Ty, if you have that audio, please.
Send it through.
He Nelly did. So I felt like I was like, oh shit, this is really nuts.
Yeah.
In here. And so fast forward after Cheetah, I just ended up I started doing another club called Ohm, I think which was across the street from Cheetah. So I did that for the next year. Another party that was nuts. That's when I met DJ Self. So Self started DJing that party. And then I started doing? Oh, I started working for this guy named Eric Nix. Eric actually got me a job up at Universal Music as a director of marketing under Shanti Das.
Oh, shout to Shanti.
And I ended up working there for a year. I was the guy that played the background and really cared about the fame again.
Right.
Which was the gift and the curse.
Right.
Because as one day I opened up sitting at my desk, I opened up my Billboard magazine, and who's sitting there? Picture of Eric Nix and Shanti Das. No Lenny the Barber.
Oh, wow.
No Lenny Hansen. No mention of me. Nothing. And literally, the whole concept was mine. I'm the one who found the venue. I'm the one who came to them and told them we should do this. We formed a group and we started doing it. But nonetheless, it's all good. Shout out to Shanti and Eric.
No. We gonna keep that part in, y'all.
Yeah. That's a true story.
Right.
So I thought that was extremely
shady. It's shady. Okay.
So fast forward, I left Universal, and I remember the day I got let go of Universal. It was a fun bunch of shit happened at Universal, but I ended up working with some really cool people, Wayne and Baby and Met Kia Shine, Ja Rule. And I actually have some relationships that I started off at Universal that I still have today. Tasha Fox, Tasha Adams Fox, who actually taught me the ropes up there. I knew nothing. I didn't even know how to send out an email when I first got my job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I learned a lot there.
KK
Rosemond. These are all friends. Nicole Morgan, who I still love to this day, and have taught me a lot in this business.
Yeah.
so the day that I got let go from Universal is a crazy ass story. So I was like I said, I was producing these events, and I started being like I didn't know I was being a booking agent, but I was a booking agent.
Yeah.
Started booking Lil Wayne for different shows. I remember the day they came and let me go. They brought. I had like, I want to say it was like $30,000 in my desk upstairs in my office.
Oh, wow.
From a booking, and so when they called me down to let me go, I was sitting there smiling.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I'll go back to my desk.
And they said,
You have to exit.
I remember that his name was Tariq. He was the head of H&R. He's like, HR. He's like, I've never let somebody go before, and they smiled the way you're smiling. Like, what's that about? And I was like, well, I'm not sad. God got my back. I ain't worried about y'all. Like, y'all want to let me go? That's on y'all. Like, I'm cool. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And I left Universal, and I
with your 30 stacks.
with my 30 racks.
Right.
And I wasn't mad, and I ended up producing that year. Between me producing and booking, I probably did about 50 Lil Wayne shows.
Wow.
My most famous Lil Wayne show was the one at the Beacon Theater where he got locked up at.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Funny. Actually, no, that happened while I was working for Universal, which is also a hilarious story. So let me run around to that story. So that story, I put the Lil Wayne show up. I because I was a young black man that didn't believe that I could get Beacon Theater or get a large building. I didn't know that I could. I got with these two Jewish guys, and they played the front. Right? They were the guys. He was the guy.
Right.
What the hell's his name? Anyway, two Jewish guys. Right? So, let's say his name was Andy, whatever. So Andy was in charge of going to get the building, and then the other guy was in charge of going to speak to radio and do the radio deals or whatever. But I'm the one who actually did everything. I'm actually the one who got
whole thing
Lil
together.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Right. We put that show out. Put that show on sale on Thursday. We were done by Monday. It was sold out.
Wow.
Right? And that had never happened before. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right. So let's fast forward. So that happened a month before the show actually happened.
Right.
So let's fast forward to a week before the show was about to happen. So Andy calls me and he's like, "Yo, Lenny, they want to shut the show down." I'm like, "What you mean they want to shut the show down?" He's like, "Yeah, they're saying that there's a bunch of gang members on the bill and whatever. Talking about Lil Wayne. At the time, I had Lil Wayne, Jim Jones, Jewels, Kia Shine, Ja Rule. I think Fat Joe.
That sounds like a
Joe
crazy
was
show.
also about to come
Right,
out.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, that was a crazy show.
I think a year before that, Fat Joe had smacked the shit out of somebody at Madison Square Garden. He smacked one of the ushers. So he ended up getting banned from Madison Square Garden. So Madison Square Garden owns the Beacon Theater.
Right.
So he's like, they want to meet with us. I'm like, they want to meet with us where? He's like, the chief of police wants to meet with you. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
He's the chief of police or captain, whatever the fuck he was, white shirt, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So mind you, I'm playing the background, right? So basically they want to meet with him and whoever else, and the other guy.
Right.
So I go to the meeting and I'm sitting back. So there's a long ass communal table with at least 15 to 20 police officers around it. So
my gosh.
You got, the chief, you got the captain.
It's a real meeting.
It's a real meeting. So I walk in, I'm like, oh shit, right? So I'm still playing it back because I'm like, God damn sure I can't say nothing here because, whatever.
Right.
So they're asking him questions. Boom, boom, question. He's not really able to answer the questions.
All the questions, right.
Because he doesn't know the culture. He doesn't know anything. They're telling him, yo, these gang members, all the guys on the show are gang members, so we don't want to,
how do you get to gang members?
So I'm sitting there and I'm listening.
Right.
And I said, okay. I said, I can't take it anymore. This isn't their show. This is my show. And they were like,
what? Right.
What? Who are you? So I said, my name is Lenny Hansen, Lenny the Barber, and I'm the one who purchased Lil Wayne. It's my show. I'm the one producing it. I'm the one who sold it out in the weekend. I'm legal. I'm incorporated.
Right.
I pay my taxes.
Right.
I said, but I can't take it anymore. You guys are sitting there saying that all these artists are gang members.
It's just,
and it's not true. It's Lil
Right.
Wayne has never been locked up. Ja Rule's never been locked up.
Right.
Fat Joe, he smacked somebody. Okay, he's out. No problem. I said, but everybody Jim
else
Jones
is-
never been locked up.
Yeah.
I said, all these guys you are proclaimed to be gang members and are going to start problems have never been arrested nor started any issues anywhere. So it's not fair that you would tell me that I can't,
love
that you have to shut my show down.
Right.
So here go God again. God comes back, right? God is always around.
Right.
So to my left of me is a black African American gentleman, and he taps me. He's like, "Yo, he said, yo, you really Lenny the Barber?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm Lenny the Barber, man."
Right.
He's like, "Yo, nigga, I love you, man." I was like, "What you mean you love me?" He's like, "Yo, bro, I met my wife at one of your parties, man. I love you, man."
That's crazy.
He said, "Yo, I'm the head of the gang task force, man. So I tell you what, you ain't got shit to worry about no more, man."
Yo,
he tapped me on my leg. He's like, "Yo, you can leave the meeting now. I got this." I went out, left out the meeting. Next thing you know, 5 minutes
Lenny.
later, the meeting is adjourned.
I got goosebumps right now. That's
And
crazy.
we walk out. He gives me a pound. He says, "Your show's back on, man. You ain't got shit to worry about. It's all good."
Yo, that's just
Another guardian angel, right?
that's just
Shout out
crazy.
to him. Man.
Shout out to the head of the task
head of the
force
gang
back
task
in
force.
1990,
Yes, word is
whatever.
bond. And I actually met a good amount of people through him. Sean Dozer, who's quote unquote the hip hop police, but I love all of them. They all love me because I do everything the right way. I
Right.
don't break any rules.
I love that. I love that. I love
So
that.
we did the show. So fast forward to the day of the show, and I'll just tell the story. So because there's a story behind how I even met Lil Wayne and how I ended up doing all these events.
Right,
But
right.
nonetheless, so the day of the show, Wayne walks up to go do his sound check, and they're about to search him, and he's like, "Why y'all searching me? I'm Lil Wayne."
Right.
So they're like, "Well, we have to search you." So he's like, "I'm not. Fuck it. I'm not doing the show then."
Right.
So he jumps back on his bus.
Oh my
Cortez,
God.
his manager's like, "Yo, Wayne, where you going?" Wayne's like, "Yo, I'm the boss, man. This is my shit. I'm out of here. I'm not doing this shit." So gets back on his bus. I go to the general manager of Beacon Theater. I'm like, "Yo, why do you have to search Lil Wayne?"
Right.
So I understand you have to search everybody else, but I said he's the one
He's
who
the
sold
star.
tickets.
Right,
Fam.
yeah.
Like I said, you guys do country western shows, you do rock and
All
roll
the
shows.
time.
They carry a ton of drugs on them. Like,
Right.
why are you bothering this man? This man, and besides that, Lil Wayne was a skateboarder and kind of dressed. He dressed like a skateboarder, so he had them
Right.
tight ass pants. Like he ain't
Yeah,
got no gun
yeah,
on
yeah.
him, fam.
Where-
Like
where-
you can
where
see
would he
the
put a
shit.
gun?
Where he
Right.
put a gun, right? So he's like, "How about this guy?" He's like, "I don't know who Lil Wayne is, and I really don't care." He said, "Either he's going to get searched, or your show's not going to happen,
Oh.
and I'll be happy to refund all 3,000 plus tickets in one day. So I don't really care." I was like, "Okay." So left. Did the sound check with everybody else. That night, Wayne's come back. Now, remember I told you I was working for Universal Music at the time.
Right.
But I was playing the background, right? No one knew. Well, there were a couple people at the building that knew that I was doing the show. So Shanti knew, and this guy named D, the weatherman, knew, and a couple other people knew.
Right.
And Sylvie Rohn was the head of Motown at the time.
Yeah.
So I was working under Sylvie Rohn, and shout out to Sylvie Rohn. And she used to make me nervous all the time. Like, every time we had to speak, I used to look at her and be like, "God, this lady, this is fucking Sylvie Rohn speaking
I
to me."
know.
I'd fucking stutter and
Right,
shit.
right.
Nonetheless, so I get a call from the road manager, Eli. He's like, "Yo, they're on their way back." I'm like, "Cool." He's like, No, it's not really that cool." He said, "Sylvie Rohn, the boss lady, wants to talk to you." I'm like, "What you mean she want to talk to me? Why she want to talk to me? And how does she even know I exist? Like, how does she even know
Right.
that this is my show?" He's like, "One of your people at the building. I know who you are. I'm not gonna mention your name,
Oh.
but they're the person who
Right.
told
Snitches get
Sylvia
stitches. Right.
that because she was like, "How am I gonna get Wayne in?" He's not, because Wayne was telling her. Mind
Right.
you, this is when Lollipop was out, so that whole he
man.
was on fire.
Oh, my
This was
God.
the biggest show of the year. It was the biggest show of the
Yeah.
summer. His biggest show. So it was fucking pinnacle moment for him
Right.
and Motown at that time. So she's all the way fucked up. So she's like, she's asking like, how am I gonna get him in how am I gonna get him in the show?
Right.
So this person told her, oh well, Lenny Hansen is the promoter of the show and he works for you.
Oh my God.
I'm like, so she calls me. So I get to the bus. I walk up on the bus, and there's Sylvia Rohn, who's my job,
Right.
and Lil Wayne, who's my money.
Right.
So I'm like, shit.
Right.
So
right,
Sylvia's like, Lenny, let me talk to you. I'm like, okay. She's like, so it's your show, huh, Lenny? I'm like, yes, Miss Rohn, it's my show. She's like, well, you have to get Wayne inside without getting searched, and that's just it.
That was part 2 of this 3-part episode with our guest, Lenny Hansen, aka Lenny The Barber. For episode 3, check us next week.
This podcast was brought to you by 23DB Productions, ID Productions, and One of One Productions. For more information, go to Facebook and Instagram, Unexpected Success with Joy.